Sean Chandler. This is my sister,
Tisha Messing.
and we just finished watching the season finale of Season 1 of Star Trek Discovery. So, if you haven't watched it yet, don't watch this review. Go watch the episode, then join us on here. This is going to be spoiler-packed for the entire season. And our general impression for both of us was that was very underwhelming conclusion to this season, especially because they managed to have a pretty good satisfactory ending to the Lorca storyline. That seemed like it built towards something.
Yeah,
and then
this was just like, shoo.
And then we get a big reveal at the end that was like...
It was like a leaky balloon that slowly just fell apart.
And for an epic war for the whole season, this was very odd. So that's kind of our quick thoughts on it. Before we get started, tell us down below, what did you think about it? Did it underwhelm you the way it did us? What did you love? What did you hate?
Did somebody love this episode? Because I'd love to see a defense of the episode.
That's true. That's because we were just saying, because a lot of these ones we haven't, like, we've disagreed with you guys, but we can understand why you would appreciate how this show's different. With this one,
it was just...
Yeah, whatever you might...
It didn't feel like a season finale.
No,
it didn't feel like a big payoff or things like that. It just was like...
But we'll get into that in just a second. So if you loved it, please, please, please try and defend. Don't be defensive. Defend the episode. Give us your reasons, because we would love to understand.
I'd love to hear an explanation, because...
Yeah, we're confused.
Yeah.
And the other one to know, this is going to be a quick video because we got to shoot our season 1 review for the season as a whole. We're going to do that right after that, and she's got to get home because it's getting late, and I got to edit a couple videos. That'll be up tomorrow night.
We're getting an ice storm, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, wow. We're going to get an ice storm tonight?
Did you get hail at your house?
I don't believe so.
Oh, we got hail. We almost didn't get to see Thor Ragnarok, and I've had 2 very disappointed boys.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, you better get home before you die. So, we got to talk quick. That's why this one's going to be short. But we will have a second one tomorrow where we talk about our goods, bads, and uglies for the entire season. With that said, what are the good things about this episode? I'll take that one because I know you don't have many. There was a clear objective to it. There was we know what we're trying to do. We know who's trying to do it. There's a clear linear structure to the story.
I thought something.
We'll get and I appreciate that when a lot of the stuff.
I remember in a minute.
When we get to the the first half of the season, there was just so much stuff where I felt like the episodes were just unfocused and kind of moving around, where it's really difficult to. It didn't throw me off. It was just really difficult for me to not. If you're wondering what we're like in real life, there you go. Easily distracted, and we forget what we're talking about. But so, in the first half of the season, a lot of the episodes were unfocused, and there were a lot of storylines. I wasn't quite sure how they would all fit together quite right. And so, this one, I appreciate it when they're focused, when there's a clear objective to the episode so I can follow the story. That one had this, and so on that level, I appreciated that one. All right, so I can move on, and you don't forget what you're trying to talk about.
Ash, I remembered.
Yes, yes.
I liked Ash making use of his Vogue memories and being able to integrate that well. That was that was nice to see, and seeing him take steps towards integrating who he is and what he was. So that was nice. I remember it also through the entire conversation.
Yeah, and I think there's several elements like that in the episode where it pulled the little remaining threads and it tied them in a way that kind of made sense. To where you saw progression with certain characters, and so they're in different roles, and so people are working towards being on the command chain or command training program. Boke having a role that makes sense that he would have knowledge. You go, oh, that's clever. That's an interesting use of that. Likewise, if we got the Emperor that's kind of crazy, that kind of ties in nicely. Other positives specifically to the episode? Yeah, let's move on to the negatives. The big thing we said at the beginning, it didn't feel like a season closer. And when you're talking about a season-long war, I mean, this is like we're kicking off this war, this massive thing where someone is imprisoned, and how are we going to end this? And then the Federation has been 20% been taken over. We've lost the war. And I mean, it felt like, random episode 8 of the season where they infiltrate the Klingon planet and they're trying to set a bomb, and then they realize it's not the right thing to do after all. Except then the next scene is the war is over. You're like, what?
Yeah,
what? This is so underwhelming.
It felt like the episode that you bury right before it sweeps.
Yeah.
Is going on. You know, it's a decent episode. It's not your absolute weakest, but it's not like the episodes that you want to lead with or that you want to finish strong with. And so it led to a lot of... Okay, so at one point, CBS All Access just kind of had this little hiccup where there was a point where it could have been an end to the episode, and it went to black, and it sat there at black for like a minute, and it was one of the points where I think they were down in the caves.
They were down in the caves, and
it's just like they defused it a little bit, and it went to black, and it sat there at black for a minute, and Sean were like, is that the end of the episode?
Because that's the way with CBS All Access, that's the way it has ended. These sudden like abrupt endings, and we're like, is that the end? And we really thought it might be. And
so we were sitting there, and then suddenly the ads went, and we're like, okay, maybe it's not the end, but they've done this before. So we just sat there through the entire commercial break going, are we going to come back to the credits, or are we going to come back to something that continues the episode? And we did continue the episode, but it's just
like it was cut to dialogue. The war's over. Like, I mean, it was just so odd and so underwhelming. And I think that's why we're asking you guys, if you loved it, please help us understand. And I think that part of what makes it feel even more, like highlights how underwhelming it was, is that wasn't our understanding they added 2 episodes, and so that perhaps even that one from 2 episodes ago was the original finale, is my understanding. I think that's what I've heard.
I think someone in the comments a couple of weeks ago commented that actually no, that was never the original finale.
Okay.
The episodes were added earlier in the season.
Okay. So it was added...
in the first half before the fall break.
Okay. And so then this was the original plan?
I don't know.
It was weird.
So like what I was mentally comparing it to is in Deep Space Nine, they have the Dominion War. And I'm putting that on, I'm putting Deep Space Nine on as I'm like working on housework right now as something that I don't have to pay too much attention to. And the thing I was realizing is the difference in how they wrapped up the Dominion War versus how this wrapped up the Klingon War. You felt like it was a joint effort between everybody working together. You see Sisko working with different people in the Federation, in the Klingon Empire, and all of these things that you see there's lots of pieces, where this felt like the entire time it's like you got this one ship.
Yeah, one ship. It really comes down to a couple people.
And you know... Really
just Michael.
Well, we're sending in all the people who have PTSD to solve the problem.
Well, not Tilly. Tilly, this is totally normal. She's balanced. We'll send her in with everyone with PTSD.
Yeah, so she just goes and gets high and nearly gets the bomb stolen.
just the whole thing was odd.
You have to leave. You're not smoking. Oh, okay, I'll smoke. What was that? I think I'm allergic.
Some fun things added to it. The strip clubs, prostitution, some nice additions to the realm of Star Trek. But yeah, it's just underwhelming, unsatisfying. And I guess the other one I kept thinking about is when we know that there were showrunner changes before the show started, and they're trying to figure out the direction. I felt like they resolved the Lorca stuff really well. They resolved the Mirror Universe stuff well.
Yes.
And then it just felt like they had no idea how to resolve this, but they wanted to move on. Yeah. Which will lead into, very shortly, into where the season ends, and so we could talk about that for a little bit. But it just ends. It's done. War's over. Cool. Oh, by the way, you're forgiven. All that stuff that happened, because you're a good, a good champ.
You did such a good job not blowing up the Klingon Empire. We decided to expunge your record.
That's amazing.
And, so at the end, she was talking with Amanda, and I was sitting there going, who is this woman? Who is this woman? And then I realized, like, 3/4 the way through the conversation, oh, that's supposed to be Amanda. And then I was like, wow, she went gray really fast.
I'm pretty sure she was in an earlier episode.
She was. I just hadn't remembered that she...
was she put a flashback?
It was in the flashback is where we saw her. And so,
in which case her age makes sense, is in flashback when...
Yes. But, man, something really stressful must have happened in those 10 years.
Because, the actress is only like 2 years older than you, and the person playing Michael's like 2 years younger than me. So, like, even, like, it's weird. It's like, the age doesn't make a lot of sense that they cast that actress that's 42 or something like that. I mean, she's, like, not
old
nearly
enough to have full-grown kids that are, well established in their careers. Yeah,
very, very odd casting in there. Anyway, and then it ends. I thought they were going to give us our new captain, or they were going to do another time dimension reveal.
It's a big reveal that, we're not in the normal universe or something.
Because you had to have something, and it's like, what are they going to give us?
Yeah, and they teased the captain.
Yeah, they teased the captain, and then our big reveal is the Enterprise. Which
they put NCC, and I was like,
okay, we know where this. We know where this is going. And so then we find out we're going to see Pike, and I guess we almost kind of have to see young Spock, which would be interesting to see what they're going to do with that.
How is Sarek going to react to seeing his estranged son, who he hasn't seen for years and isn't supposed to have seen for okay.
Yeah, there's so many. That's like a whole different video's worth of commentary. Where's this going to go?
Yeah.
But they reveal that, and then they start playing the old Star Trek theme,
and we just burst out laughing. And his wife is just sitting there staring at us like, "Why are you doing this? Why is this so hilarious?" And we're like, "It's."
As soon as that note started, we both just lost it right there, and it's just like it just seems so out of place and so different and weird and interesting.
Because like the Discovery music right now has nice throwbacks and ties into the original series music so that you feel it, and then they just went full 60s,
yes, all out. So, anyway, there's kind of our take on this episode. Tomorrow night we're going to have our season review up, so stick around, come back. Don't stick around, because you'd be... Well, actually, you can stick around on my channel for the next 24 hours if you want. You can
just stream some playlists,
stream
in the background. Apparently that's what my mom does. She just at work. She must put Sean's channel on while she's doing stuff.
That's my secret to growth. My mom running up my runtime. Come back tomorrow.
Apparently you just need to get your mom to get like a bunch of YouTube video subscribers.
Yes. There you go. But tell us what you thought down below, especially if you liked it. We want to understand where you're coming from on that one. We would love
to hear people give their reasons for why they liked it, because a lot of y'all have loved this season. It's not my cup of tea. It's been frustrating as all get out for me, but those of you who have been given cognizant reasons that have made sense beyond just blah, 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 you're stupid and
you're Trump trekkers.
Yes. That's my personal favorite insult.
I've actually tried to Google it because I didn't know what it meant. Like, I don't really know what it means. And it's a term that's being used enough that I don't, like, okay, what's a Trump trekker? I guess it's like a conservative that likes Star Trek, but that's being the... Anyway, it's an interesting one. So with that said, if you're new to my channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button. Do movie reviews, TV reviews, ranking videos. But the key thing is, I don't want to just talk about movies. I want to talk about movies with you. And Star Trek Discovery. So join us down in the comment section. We do read those. We do respond. We do want to have lively discussions. We do want to understand if you enjoyed this episode how. Remember to come back tomorrow so that you can see our thoughts on the full season now that we've seen the whole place that the story's going. We can kind of take all of our many thoughts we've had all season and boil them down to a 10-minute video that you can see in less than 24 hours. And as always, thank you for watching. We're into that? Okay. Totally going to be 10 minutes.